All right, guys, thank you guys for joining. We're going to get started. So, today we're going to talk about the blueprint to crush any and all fitness goals. So, no matter what your goal is, whether it's weight loss, getting strong, becoming more toned, or just improving your overall health and wellness, you're going to have a blueprint by the end of this to create your own routine to kind of get you to where you want to be. So, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a background about me, and then we'll get into it. So first things first, my name is Kiani. I'm a physical therapist and women's strength and conditioning coach. And I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my story. So on the left, I was about 168 pounds. I was still in college. I think this was senior year. I had just finished playing college basketball. And honestly, I was just trying to enjoy my last 6 months of college. I was eating more than I ever had, partying more than I ever had, drinking, eating fast food like 5 times a week. And around this time, this was when the 4 for 4 for Wendy's was popping and it was really popular. I would get the 4 for 4 with the chicken sandwich, add extra nuggets with the large strawberry lemonade, and then this would be late night, and then I'll just go to sleep, and I'll probably repeat that like 3, 4 times out the week. It was crazy, good time, but definitely not good for your health. So I went from being like a size 7, 8 to a size 14, went from 138 pounds to 168 pounds, which is right here on the left. And I didn't really feel like myself, and I felt like things were out of my control because I was so used to having a lot of structure in my life. I was used to like having practice all the time, workouts associated with whatever sport I was playing. And then when all of that ended, I kind of didn't have that structure and I didn't have the discipline to do it on my own. So I gained a lot of weight and I did a lot of stupid stuff. So I actually, at the same time, ironically, I had just got accepted into PT school, which was something I thought I would have been more excited about, but I was kind of not feeling great because I put on so much weight. And also, I hated the idea that I was going to go into healthcare, be a healthcare professional, and not look fit, not really look the part, and not practice what I preach. So that was bothering me. And I know me personally, when I go to like certain doctors and stuff, they don't even look the part. It's kind of hard to take advice and take them seriously. So I didn't want my future patients and clients to view me that way. And I kind of knew the perspective I had. So at this point, that's when I knew things needed to change. So about 1 year later, I was really going to the gym, really paying attention to my nutrition and applying everything I learned in PT school to my own like exercise journey. And I got down to like, I think this picture on the right was 130-ish, and I was mad small. I had a lot of muscle, but I was really small. I didn't really like that. So then I started to kind of reverse engineer and start to put more weight on. So this middle picture, I think I was like 145-ish. And I was fine there, but I don't know. I really didn't like how it looked either. So the picture on the right is like kind of the happy spot, like 150, 155. And I say all this to say when you go through a journey like this and when you really are like into like your health and improving your fitness, you're gonna have people that say like, oh, you look better at this weight or you look better at that weight. And none of that really matters. You just have to find what makes you happy and what's sustainable for you. And I feel like the picture on the left and the picture in the middle, I could have sustained it, but I didn't really like how I looked. So I really didn't really give a fuck about what anybody said. So I am pretty much content with where I'm at now. And I want you guys to be able to achieve the same thing. And that's what this event is about, is really just finding what works for you, what makes you happy. And it's not am I just kidding? It's not only about me. My clients are also getting results, and it's not just weight loss related. So people are really seeing the benefits that people overlook. So a lot of times when it comes to fitness, people are only thinking about weight loss or like gaining muscle, but it's really about feeling good and being like happy with what you're doing. So I had one client that had open heart surgery, and because of that, wasn't able to work out with high intensity, was able to do a lot of upper body exercises. She was also dealing with a lot of knee pain. So she was really scared to get started, but we took all her vitals like after every exercise, after every set, and she was able to reap the benefits of having more energy, being able to get through her school day without as much fatigue. She was a teacher, so she was going up and downstairs a lot. And as we were working together, she was able to feel more energized. So it's not just about weight loss, it's more so about being able to do your daily activities without any difficulty. Then my client on the right, this is one of my one-on-one clients. She's really just trying to get strong, especially with her upper body. She was dealing with a shoulder injury, and she wasn't able to do a lot of push-ups, lifting, like simple things like dishes overhead. And then now, fast forward 6 months, she's doing push-ups. She's doing like band assisted pull-ups, overhead pressing 15 pounds. And she posted this a few weeks ago saying, just to think 1 year ago, a coffee cup was too heavy for me. So I thought that was pretty cool because it's things like this that people don't really think about that is really what it's about. So it's not all about the aesthetics. So in order to like kind of reap these benefits, you have to be in a certain mindset. You have to get rid of certain false beliefs. So in order to really feel good about yourself, you have to have the right mindset. So we're gonna first talk about mindset because that sets the tone for everything, and then go from there. Sorry, this chat is in the way. Can you guys hear me? I'm looking at the chat and don't know. You guys should be able to hear me. Okay, perfect. Make sure you guys join audio because that's the way you guys will be able to hear me. All right, let's talk about mindset. So if you don't have a certain mindset, it's going to be hard for you to really sustain your fitness journey. So let's dive into this and then we'll get into creating a routine and all that fun stuff. So the all or nothing mindset, this is basically thinking you have to be perfect or else you have failed. So you really saw this come into play around the holidays. You see people thinking that if they have Thanksgiving dinner, they have a couple of drinks, a couple of mimosas, or Christmas dinner with all the sweets and desserts. If they engage in these meals and really indulge in these meals, they're going to completely derail their progress or their results. So they might as well start after the holidays. And this isn't really true, and it's not a good way to think because if you think about it, holidays are always going to exist. Holidays are always going to come around. Birthdays are always going to come around. Celebrations are always going to happen. And you need to be able to still be able to enjoy those things without feeling like you're completely derailing your progress. You don't really gain weight overnight. You don't get skinny overnight. So these 1 or 2 days isn't really going to impact your overall trajectory in the long run. So just getting rid of this mindset really helps. Another example of this mindset is like, say that you usually work out for 1 hour, but you know you only have 30 minutes. So instead of doing the 30 minutes, you just say fuck it and skip the whole entire workout. That's another form of this, and that is really detrimental to your progress because it's not really about how much time you have to work out. It's more so about doing it consistently, whether it's for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour. So I actually would do this when I first started really like working out on my own. So I would go out, have drink with my friends on a Friday, and I would like literally throw the whole weekend away because I thought I ruined my whole progress that Friday. So on this journey, you have to remind yourself that progress isn't ruined if you miss a workout. It's not ruined if you have to cut a workout short. It's okay to go out for drinks, have a cheat meal, cheat drink, have a cheat day. It just matters if you're getting back on track the next day. You don't want to really do this too often, but it is okay if it happens occasionally. And then when you ditch this mindset, it'll be easier for you to make fitness a lifestyle because you enjoy it and it'll feel good for you. But if you're trying to be perfect all the time, you're going to be miserable, and that's really no way to live your life. Next mindset shift. You have to know that no win is too small. So when you have big goals or you want something to be a part of your lifestyle, when in fact, like fitness is actually something you should do your entire life, the journey is going to feel long and never ending because it actually is. So in order for it to be sustainable for you, you don't want to become too obsessed with the end point to the point that you don't realize how far you've already come. So this is when focusing on the small wins and focusing on the daily steps and the daily process that it takes to get to the outcome comes into play. So things that I celebrate or like really count as wins and encourage my clients to do the same with are like being consistent with setting your weekly or monthly goals, getting consistency in like wake up times, doing small things that don't even apply to the gym, like making up your bed, going on walks, hitting all of your workouts for the week, planning ahead. These small things, once you start noticing that you're like hitting these things, celebrating these things will be more enjoyable for you, and it'll make the journey less overwhelming. But if you're just looking at the long-term goal and you have a long way to go, it's going to feel very overwhelming, and it's not going to be something that you achieve with enjoyment. So nobody really wants to go through that. So in order to make it fun, you have to know that no win is too small and be able to celebrate these small wins along the way. Next, this is my favorite one because so many people get caught up in the scale, especially at the beginning of the journey, because they want to see results quick. They get really eager and they want to see the number on the scale going down. But honestly, I always tell people, fuck the scale, because it's really just a number on a scale. Like that's really all it is. It's just one tool for measurement. And there are so many different ways to measure progress while also saving you stress and giving you a peace of mind. So I really don't use the scale that often. I'll probably weigh myself like once every 2 weeks, and I use other ways to track my progress. So I'll kind of go through those with you guys. So you always want to track your progress in a way that feels good for you. So if you know that stepping on the scale is going to mess up your day, don't do it. A lot of people get really discouraged by the number on the scale, and that's not something that you want to feel on a consistent basis. So let's find other ways to measure your progress. So circumference measurements, fitting into clothes you couldn't before, taking progress photos every 2 weeks, looking at your performance in the gym. So whether you're doing more sets, reps, weights, you're not getting out of breath as quickly, you're able to do a little more in your workouts. If you're staying consistent, if you have more energy throughout the day, if you're feeling more confident, and if you're sleeping better. These are all things that indicate progress that don't really show up with the scale, because it's hard for a number to depict all of that. So these are just kind of ways to get you to see how far you've come without worrying about the number on the scale, because at a certain point, the number on the scale isn't going to change much. So you want to find other ways to show you that you're making progress. So now that we got the mindset shifts right, and we kind of like know how we should be thinking, let's talk about what you guys actually came for, which is different fitness goals and how to achieve them. So common goals that people have when it comes to fitness is weight loss, getting stronger, becoming toned, improving your endurance, or just improving your general fitness, general health, like feeling good, not really like chasing like any specific numbers, just improving your activity level. So all these goals have different things we should focus on, different plans that allow you to achieve them. So nobody's plan is going to be the same depending on their goal. So by the end of this, you'll be able to fill out this chart based on your goal. You'll have the knowledge and tools to create an exercise routine that not only aligns with these goals, but aligns with your lifestyle. So you'll be like able to get started on your fitness journey today. So we'll talk about exactly what to focus on depending on what your goal is. First one we're going to talk about is weight loss. So if your goal is weight loss, you're going to want to have a plan that focuses primarily on strength training and lifting. And when most people want to lose weight, most of the time what they do is gravitate to cardio. And when it comes to women do this naturally. So when women start to go to the gym, they start to gravitate towards walking, running, riding a bike, doing yoga, typically doing lower intensity, lower impact activities, because like I said, that's most people's thought. And then also women are traditionally taught not to like lift weights, not lift anything heavy, even though it's actually very beneficial. But if your goal is weight loss, you really should be focusing on strength training. And this is probably counterintuitive to what you've heard. So we'll go into the details as to why you should actually do this. So like I said, most people gravitate towards the cardio because cardio usually burns more calories during a workout. So if you were to do an hour on the treadmill versus an hour weightlifting and you track it on your watch, you're gonna burn more calories doing the cardio workout during that session. But when you strength train consistently, you build muscle. And no, I'm not saying that you get bulky, but you do increase how much muscle you have. And the more muscle you have, the more energy and calories your body is going to have to burn to maintain that muscle. So this plays into like time efficiency and really doing something that sustains you in the long run. Because if you don't have a lot of time to be in the gym, you're going to want to be maximizing the amount of calories you're burning outside the gym. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn, even when you're not working out. So over time, that really compounds. So the numbers kind of vary on this, but typically every 1 pound of muscle you have, you'll burn an extra 20 to 30 calories. So think about this compounded over time. People are always talking about calories in versus calories out. So unless you want to be in the gym doing mad hours of cardio, this is going to be a more efficient way for you to get to your goal, whether it's getting stronger, losing weight, becoming toned, any goal. Really lifting being the focus is going to get you there most efficiently. Is there questions in the chat? Let's see. I can't see the chat. I'm sorry, guys. All right. Next, we're going to talk about getting stronger and building muscles. And we're going to talk about these together because as you build muscle, you're going to get stronger. And as you get stronger, you're going to build muscle. So they kind of go hand in hand. And we all know that when you're trying to increase your strength and get stronger or put on a little bit more muscle, you're going to have to do some form of strength training. So that's not as counterintuitive as the lifting for weight loss part. But when you are training for these goals, you want to focus on progressive overload. And as of recently, progressive overload has been kind of a buzzword and it sounds complicated, but really it's really simple. And it just means that in order to keep making progress, you must continue to make your workouts more difficult and challenging for your body. Because like anything new that you do is gonna like take a toll on your body and feel hard, but the more you do it, your body adapts and it becomes easier. So you need to give your body a new stimulus to keep it improving. So ways that you do this include increasing your weight lifted, increasing how many sets you do, increasing how many reps, decreasing your rest period. There's a lot of other ways to do this, but for the purposes of this, these are what you should focus on. So I'm going to give you an example of how to not progressive overload, and then I'll show you how to actually do this the correct way. So say you are starting with squats. I just put a random number out there. So you're doing 3 sets of 10 at 150 pounds. And you've been working out for the first week, that's fine. But then the second week you do the same thing, that's okay. Maybe you're not used to it. But then the third and fourth week, you're still doing the same things. And I assume by this time you're probably breezing through this. So you don't want to do the same things every workout if it's not challenging for you, because like I said, your body is going to adapt, especially if you're new, you're going to adapt pretty quickly. So you need to give it something more challenging or your body isn't going to improve. If you keep doing the same stuff, you never get better. And it's the same thing in your workouts. So the correct way to do this would be, say, week 1, you're doing 3 sets of 10 with 150 pounds. You're kind of getting used to it. And then week 2, you do the same thing. Week 3, you feel like you're ready to go up. So you just increase by 5 pounds, still keeping the sets and the reps the same. And then that feels good. So week 4, you go up again. This is like standard way of using progressive overload. You're just making your workouts a little bit harder and your body will adapt to this. And this is how you keep keep yourself from getting into plateaus and keep your body progressing. But if you do the same thing all the time, you're not really gonna make much progress because your body's just gonna accommodate to that. So this is a client example this month. Well, this is actually January, this is last month. I had her program to do Zercher squats, which is basically squats with the bar on your elbows. And on my training app, you're able to see your progress in terms of different things, but on this view, you can see how much weight lifted over time. And first week she did 55 pounds and 10 reps. And then the next week she did 60 pounds at 10 reps. And I'm always encouraging my clients to do this as long as their form is good and they're comfortable with it, to prevent them from stalling and getting into plateaus, and really just keep them challenging themselves, because you don't want to waste time doing the same stuff. You want to really try to get better each time you're working out. All right, so improving endurance. So this isn't really a common goal I see too much. Obviously, there are people out there that are into like running marathons, 5Ks, 10Ks, and there's still benefit to strength training when your goal is this, but your main focus should be cardio when you're training for this, because you want to do something that's most specific to your goal. And if you're going to be doing endurance events, cardio is going to be most specific to that. So for those people who are like prioritizing endurance, but they still want to lift, you want to do your cardio first and then strength training. I'm not going to go too deep into programs for this because I feel like most people here that have signed up are really have the same mindset as me and really want to get into lifting. So we're going to skip this. If your goal is general fitness, and if you just want to look good in the mirror, look good naked, like kind of go to the beach and like just feel good about yourself, and you don't really have a specific like aesthetic goal or like number to hit, and you're just working out to improve your physical activity, increase your physical activity, it's not really going to matter what you focus on. So I always say it depends, and what it depends on is it depends on you. So what do you really feel like doing? Just want to let you guys know that the more specific your goal is, the more specific your program has to be, and the more aligned it has to be to your goals. But if you don't really have a goal, you just want to go to the gym and exercise and feel good, do whatever you really want. It doesn't really matter when it comes to this. So it's always going to depend in this situation. And this is just a recap. So if your goal is weight loss, getting stronger, becoming toned, you want to focus on lifting primarily. And if you want to improve endurance, you want to do cardio. And if you're just improving your general health and fitness, it's going to be up to you. So any questions on that? I cannot see the chat. It's probably in there. I guess I'll get to the, oh, here it is. Okay. I'll answer questions at the end, but if you guys have questions during this, feel free to jump in the chat. All right. Next, creating a routine, the one that works for you. So you want to be able to create a routine that not only fits the goals that we talked about, but you also want it to fit your lifestyle and your schedule, because that's what's going to get you to where you want to go. So always say that working out without a plan is like traveling to a new destination without Google Maps or Waze. And obviously you can get there without a plan, but having direction, having guidance, having a map is going to get you there a lot quicker than if you just walked around blindly and did random stuff. So having a workout plan gives you the step-by-step blueprint to confidently crush your goals. And a lot of people have anxiety around working out, feel overwhelmed with exercise because they don't have a plan. So once you have a plan, you'll easily ditch this feeling of confusion. You won't feel as anxious and overwhelmed, and instead you'll feel confident and powerful while you're seeing progress week to week. So with a plan, you're able to see exactly what's working and what's not, and this allows you to make necessary changes to keep you on track. But if you don't have a plan, you don't really have an idea what you're doing day in and day out, it's hard to kind of see what's not working and what's not, and then make changes. So having a plan is going to be really crucial to your consistency and also your success. So the first step to creating a routine is knowing what your goal is. So we went through goals and what you should focus on to achieve the goal. Now we're going to talk about actually creating that plan. So the first step is done. You guys should have a goal in mind by now. Second step is figuring out how much time you have. The number one reason people say they don't exercise is because they say they don't have time for it. People think you have to work out for hours on end, be in the gym 5-6 times a week. And you don't really have to do this. So I really want to get this squared away before we do anything else. So we're going to figure out how much time you have. And when you're asking yourself this question, you really want to be real with yourself. You want to be realistic, because when you're not, you set yourself up for failure. So you want to be realistic about not only how much time you can dedicate, but how much time do you want to dedicate? You might have 8 hours throughout the week where you could work out, but you probably don't want to do that. I know I don't want to do that. So be real with yourself and like list how long you can ideally work out. And a good question to ask yourself, and this is a question I ask all my clients before I write them a program, is how many times per week do you think you can work out on your busiest or worst week? Say you have so many obligations to attend to during the week. How many times a week do you think you would be able to work out during that week? And then once you determine that number, that amount of time, then you can set the goal to work out that many times. And then anything more than that is just a bonus, is just the extra win. So for me personally, I know that I could work out 4 times a week on my busiest or worst week. And if I do 5 days, great. If I do 6, even better. But as long as I get my 4 days, I'm good. And then after you start getting consistent with this, you can start to add more days if you want. But you don't want to set yourself up for failure from the start. So find what's the most minimal amount you can do and then go from there. So there's no wrong answer here. If you want to do, if you can only do 3 days a week for 30 minutes, that's fine. 20 minutes each day, 15 minutes each day, only on the weekends, 3 times per hour. There's literally no wrong answer here. You can get results with any of these times. You just have to pick something that's doable and sustainable for you, because in the long run, being consistent is going to be the most important factor. So you want to choose something that you can be consistent with, is something you really want to do. After you figure out how much time you have, how much time you want to dedicate, then you want to talk about where you want to work out. So are you going to be outside? Are you going to be in the gym? Are you going to be home? So all these locations are fine. Like, you don't have a gym membership, that's totally fine. If the weather gets nice like it was today, that's totally fine. You just want to figure out where you're working out, because it's going to change the availability of equipment and the type of workouts you're going to do. So if you're home and you don't have a lot of equipment, you're going to be doing more body weight stuff. If you're going outside, you want to know if you're going to be running, doing bleachers, doing track and field workouts with body weight stuff. You just need to figure out where you're going to complete your workout, because that'll allow you to create a better plan that aligns with your goals. But if you don't know where you're going to work out, it's hard to do that, because you're not going to be prepared with the equipment that you need or the equipment that you don't have. So after you finish your goals, your times, and where, then you can start to create an actual program. So no matter your goal, no matter how much time you have, and no matter where you're working out, every routine should follow, or you should have these 3 things in it. You should have progressive overload, like we talked about. You should have intensity in your workout, compound exercises, and we're going to go through all of these in more detail. So we already went over progressive overload. That's simply making your workouts a little more challenging, whether that's adding more sets, reps, weight, or decreasing your rest time. Anything that makes your workout more challenging falls under progressive overload. And then let's talk about intensity. So this is just a complicated word for how hard your body is working. So a rule of thumb is you want your last few reps of an exercise to be challenging for you. So in order to figure out what weight will be challenging for you, you have to choose a starting weight. So when it comes to choosing a weight to start with, you don't really have a formula that says, oh, you've been working out for 30 days, you weigh 150 pounds, so you should use this weight. It doesn't go like that. There's really no like formula for it. So in order to pick a starting weight, you pick it based off how it feels. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. So if you're doing an exercise and you can do 5 or more reps, the weight is too easy and you need to increase it. If you can only do 1 to 3 more reps with good form, so it's challenging, but it's doable, you should start here. So let's apply this to a goblet squat. Goblet squat is a great beginner exercise. So on the first set, you do 20 pounds and you do 10 reps, but you feel like you could have did 5 or more. So this weight is clearly too easy. You need to increase it. Set 2, you bump the weight up by 10 pounds. Now you're doing 30 pounds for 10 reps, and you're able to do all 10 reps with good form, but you feel like you only have 1 rep left in the tank. This weight right here would be just right, and this is where you start from. And then as that weight gets easy and you're able to do a couple more, then you increase it again. And you may be thinking, how many reps should I do? So based on the goals that we talked about, you want to aim for anywhere between 8 to 12 reps. And this is perfect for whether it's getting stronger, increasing like muscular growth, or becoming toned, losing weight. This rep range is perfect. Next, we're going to talk about compound exercises. And compound exercises is another buzzword, and it's really just a word that applies to exercises that use multiple big muscle groups at the same time. So think of your squats, your lunges, your deadlifts, push-ups, rows, pull-ups, bench press. All of the big movements, these are compound exercises. And the reason we focus on compound exercises is because you'll use more energy, burn more calories during your workout doing these type of exercises because you're recruiting more muscle groups. So the way I like to think of it is, what exercise would you burn more calories with, doing a squat or doing a bicep curl? So you're going to burn more calories doing a squat, whether it's with weight or without weight, than doing a bicep curl, because the squat is requiring more muscle groups to get it done. Like you're using your quads, you're using your glutes, your core, you're using your calves to stabilize. So it's a lot more intensive of an exercise than a bicep curl. So you really want to focus on things that's gonna give you the biggest bang for your buck. Another reason you want to do compound exercises is because whether you know it or not, you're doing these movements every day, multiple times a day. So getting better at these movements is going to make your life easier, especially as you get older. So simple things like getting up from a chair is similar to a squat. So doing squats translates well to that. So doing deadlifts translates well to picking things up from the floor. Doing lunges translates well to going upstairs, going downstairs. Walking on uneven surfaces, like doing push-ups, pushing movements, bench press, things like that translate well to pushing a shopping cart in a grocery store. And then doing rows, pulling movements translates well to taking trash bags out of the garbage, or like going on vacation and pulling a suitcase through the airport. All things that we look forward to doing or need to do on a daily basis. This all applies to compound movements. So your routine should have at least 1 exercise for each body part. So your quads, the front of your thigh muscle, your butt and your hamstring, so the back of your legs. Pushing muscles, so chest, shoulders, triceps. Your pulling muscles, which are your back, biceps, and grip. And then core muscles, which are abdominal and lower back. So you'll see that some of these exercises overlap. We're going to go through what type of exercise for each muscle group. And this isn't an exhaustive list. It's just a couple of examples. I'm pretty sure you guys can think of more, but for the most part, this is a good start. So for your quads, you're going to do squats, lunges, step-ups. These are your options. And then you're going to see when you get to your butt and hamstring, or your glutes and hamstring, you're still going to have squats, lunges, step-ups, which these movements could be tailored to like your quads or your hamstrings and glutes, depending on how you do them and like your form. But then you also get deadlifts and hip thrusts. Then your pushing muscles, you're gonna get push-ups, bench and shoulder press, pulling muscles, chin-ups, pull-ups, rows. And then for your core, just a couple here that I think people don't do enough. So planks, dead bugs, bird dogs, mountain climbers. So with core, I try to get away from the typical like crunches, sit-ups, things like that. I like to do like deep core stabilization exercises because that's great for preventing injuries like low back pain and like injuries further down the line as well. So you focus on these basic movements and get really strong at these, you'll see progress no matter your goal. So now when it comes to putting together your workout plan that fits your lifestyle, we're going to start talking about workout splits. So workout splits is just a way to say how you divide up your training by body regions or muscle groups. So there's going to be a lot of different types of workout splits. Like if you look this up on the internet, you're going to get so many, and you're going to be like, wow, that's a lot. Then you're going to see headlines like, this is the best workout split for that. This is the best workout split for this. But that's false. There's really no best workout split. And there's no right way to do this. You just want to find what you can sustain. So if you can do 15 minutes a day, it's a short period of time. So you're probably looking at like a strength circuit. You can do 2-day full body, 3-day full body, 4-day upper body, lower body. I have templates that I'm going to be emailing all of you guys as a bonus to help you guys put together your workout routine based off everything we covered. But these are just a few examples. Like I said, there's a ton more. So an example full body program that I put together, you guys can screenshot this. I'm also sending it to you guys after, but I literally use this for my clients as well. I just take one exercise from each muscle group and program it, and it's a nice full body day. You're not missing any body parts. You get a good, well-rounded program. So this routine will work with any goal, whether it's to lose weight, build muscle, get strong. And you guys can kind of change it up any way you want. This is just an example. And like I said, I will send this to you guys after as a bonus. Do you guys have any questions right now about workout routines? Okay, cool. All right. So when you guys get your bonuses, make sure to download them in a spreadsheet because there's a 2-day full body, 3-day full body, and 4-day upper body, and also a 15-minute workout. So there's 4 of them in one sheet, and the only way to access it and be able to plug and play your different exercises is going to be to download it into a spreadsheet. If you guys have any issues with that, just message me after this. So a little recap of what we went over is you want to get your mind right first. Make sure you are not having a negative mindset going into this, and don't have the idea that you have to be perfect. That's going to be the main thing, because there are going to be times that come up like the holidays, birthdays, different celebrations that you may want to indulge in, but you just have to know that those couple of days aren't really going to deter you from your overall goal. You want to figure out your goal, how much time you have, and where you're going to be working out. Once you know these 3 things, you'll be able to create your workout routine based on what you want to achieve. And then when you are creating your routine, you want to focus on compound exercises, make sure that it's a good intensity so it's challenging for you, and focus on progressive overload. So making your workouts a little harder each time or whenever your body is ready for it. So I know there's not enough time to go through like all the nitty gritty. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask now, but if not, I'm gonna tell you guys about a couple of things I have that you guys can use to take your training to the next level. So I have a lifting for women, a guide for beginners, and this is a pretty dope resource. I got a lot of good feedback about it, and it's really for anybody looking to start their strength journey. So it's a self-paced educational platform, and it's designed specifically for women and provides you the knowledge and tools to be safe, confident, and self-sufficient in your workouts. And you get lifetime access to this platform if you guys are interested, and it also comes with a 6-week full body training program. If you guys just want the training program, it is a different, cheaper price. Just message me for that if you want. I have that. I think that's a pretty cool thing, and I'm always adding to it on a monthly basis, so you'll have lifetime access to all of the education, exercise libraries, all that stuff. And then one-on-one coaching, lifting for women one-on-one coaching is something I recently revamped, and it's a premium service for women who want to take their fitness to the next level. So this includes habit coaching, regular assessments, video calls, injury prevention screens, video form analysis, built-in education to help you reach your goals and become completely self-sufficient so you don't need a coach in the future. This is only application. So if you're thinking this is for you, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram and we can talk about if it's a good fit. And then if you do sign up within 48 hours, you'll get a Lifting for Women gym bag and your choice of apparel sent directly to you. And I just want to talk about my client. So I'm really happy for her. So this is my one-on-one client. We've been working together for like 5 months now, and she was able to lose weight 7 pounds in 6 weeks. And this was with the course. So she started out with my beginner's guide and she was able to go through the information and go through the workout program and lose 7 pounds with the 6-week program. And that was just through habit coaching, and she was still eating whatever she wanted in moderation. And then also 2 weeks ago, she ran a 10K and she ran one last year. And this time she ran it, she was able to decrease her time by 11 seconds. So I thought that was pretty cool because she was kind of torn in between focusing on running and kind of start lifting. So she was still able to improve her running ability while lifting weights. So if you're ready to invest in yourself and improve your fitness with a personalized coaching experience, just message me and we could talk about getting you signed up. So if this was valuable for you, you could tag me on social media with your biggest takeaway. I would love that. So Instagram, Lifting for Women, or Keep It Fit, and then on Facebook, Kiani Adams. And then once again, if you are ready to work one-on-one, just message me to apply and I'll send you the link for everything. Also, be on the lookout for emails. I'm going to be sending you guys bonus templates to utilize everything we went over today and create your routine. And then when you create your routine, I want you to send it back to me so I can review it and give you tips and pointers so that I make sure you guys are on the right track. So check your email, and if you're not getting emails, just message me on Facebook and I'll make sure that it's not just going to your spam. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this was valuable for you. If you guys have questions, you guys can unmute.